Hey YouTube, it's me, Camilla Margot, or Aaron, and I'm going to be talking on the topic of passing today. And basically, what passing means is that the trans person, like a trans woman, she takes hormone replacement therapy, may or may not have surgeries to look like a woman. If she passes, society will see her as a woman. If she doesn't pass, she'll be stigmatized. This is experience from I'm speaking on an experience from my own life and what it's like to live in the world as a passing person. I know that a lot of people are rude on my comments and can say some things that are not true because I have and will continue living as a woman in society and at work. No one knows I'm trans. I have receipts. I'm legally a woman, and my experience is that the world is a lot different as a female. And I know that I was born a hermaphrodite, so I was born with two reproductive systems. So my situation and my experience is not the same as a regular transgender person's experience. For me, passing was a lot easier. For me, it really never took much issue. But passing in the real world for most transgender people is a really sensitive topic, and people who don't pass constantly feel jealousy for those that pass. Even someone that does pass well may still have jealousy of a trans woman that is prettier than them. I don't know about trans men because I'm not a trans man, so I don't really speak about trans men on my channel. There are many YouTubers that are trans men that can advocate for themselves. I'm just here to share what my experience is like as an intersex person and passing in society as a woman. So basically, for me, I'm almost 5'8". I'm just under, and I'm seen very feminine looking at work. I have a lot of coworkers that are very polite to me because I'm a girl, like male coworkers, and I blend into society. I have coworkers ask me for pads and tampons when they get their period at work, and stuff like that that people would never know when I start a new job that I actually grew up a little boy. My experience is a little bit different because, as I said, I am a hermaphrodite, but I'm just going to dive into it and tell you how I see it. So when someone starts transitioning, most likely they're not going to pass. Most likely, maybe some do, but trans people say in the community passing doesn't matter. That's a real issue because passing really does matter. In fact, passing can determine how well your quality of life is going to be. If you don't pass as the gender that that you identify as or that you're trying to present as, if you don't pass as like for a trans woman, if you don't look like a real woman, society's not going to take you seriously. Um, Even if you look very real, every trans person has some character defects or physical defects. For me, my voice is never going to sound the way that I want it to. But with that being said, this is how my voice has sounded my whole life. I did nothing to change it. Most transgender people have to go to like voice coaching, vocal therapy, to because their voices are so deep. And that's another issue with passing. You have to look the part, walk like the part, and sound like the part. So if you don't have female body language to any extent, even if you're very pretty, people may notice, like, she carries a masculine energy if you do not have female just body language. But passing as a whole, if you pass, like, or at least with my experience, like, because I pass so well in society, I'm treated really well, and I don't get misgendered in real life. The only place I get misgendered is actually on my YouTube comments. And I post on Reddit. I get hundreds of thousands of views on my posts, and people are really nice. People are not nice on YouTube. I'm just here to teach people about this because the majority of my watchers, or viewers rather, are not trans people. I would say 50% of my viewers are men over the age of 45. So that just gives you an idea of my target audience, and I didn't intend that. But anyhow, a person that doesn't pass, they're going to go through life being misgendered, whether it's at work, by their family, by parents. If I, like someone like myself, my parents look at me and they see a girl. So I'm their daughter, and it's easy. But if I look like straight up like a dude, like not any bit feminine, it would be really hard pill for them to swallow because they would have to accept me as their daughter or try their best, but I would look like a guy. And another thing is children in the families or people's children. So only thing I'm saying about this is I have a girlfriend that doesn't pass very well, and when we go to Christmas at my cousin's house, my cousin has like three children, all under 8 years of age, and they all ask my girlfriend, "Why do you look like a boy? Are you a boy?" They don't say that to me because I pass. Children are very perceptive of people that don't pass, and they kind of stand out just in general. But children will call them out, not intentionally. They're children. They're blissfully ignorant, and that's why they say what they say. They have no filter. And that's how you really know when someone passes or not. Go in public and see how children treat you when you are going out and doing something as a trans person. If you just, no one looks at you, children don't give you a second glance, no one gives you a second glance, that means you're passing. And the only reason I brought children into this is because they are very perceptive of trans people. They don't know what that is, but they're very perceptive. Either someone looks like a boy or someone looks like a girl. And if you're caught somewhere in between, you stand out, especially to them. And just the same as the rest of society, if you don't pass, you're going to stand out. Everyone's going to double take. You're going to get stared at. It's an unhappy existence. The trans community tries to say that passing doesn't matter. Passing matters because your quality of life is determined by how well you pass, at least in my opinion. And that's why people get feminizations, like feminization surgeries, like plastic surgeries, like on their face specifically, because they don't pass. And people will go through surgery to make themselves look more like the gender that they identify as. People are almost willing to go to any length to pass. Pardon me, my deviated septum's driving me crazy. Like my rhinoplasty or my cheek augmentation. Those are things that I did to feminize myself. I had what little facial hair I did grow, I had that lasered off permanently. I don't grow facial hair, and because I'm intersex, I never really grew much, but I'm just trying to explain the length that people will go to. It felt like a tattoo almost, but it felt like an ice cold rubber band slapping me at the speed of a tattoo gun on my face for 20 minutes nonstop. It hurts like hell. It really fucking hurts. And you will go through the most intense pain, excruciating, waking up from plastic surgery and your nose and face is all swollen. Trans people will go to that extent to pass. And having this is a very important part, is having the means to do so. If you can't afford to transition, I'm not saying like tons of surgeries or sex change surgery. What I'm saying is if you can't afford to stay on your hormones, to get your facial hair removed, and do some of the most bare minimum things that trans women do, you'll never be accepted and you'll never get jobs. And if you do, you'll probably be working with a lot of super liberal people that are going to affirm you and lie to you. And you don't want to be lied to, because I'd rather someone misgender me in real life and be honest so that I can work on that part or book an appointment with a surgeon so that I can fix that part of me than to go on living life oblivious to it. And I know that in YouTube comments specifically, people say things they would never say in real life, and there are such things as trolls, and trolls love to troll trans people's channels. And Blair White has become like a YouTuber, a conservative YouTuber that's so big that she's kind of said, fuck off trolls. And she looks so good that trolls kind of leave her alone. And when she started out, I watched her 7 or 8 years ago, she used to get trolled. People love to make fun of trans people, in the real life. And the reason I'm saying this and talking about her and all of this is because society control you. You don't want to be controlled, and you don't want to be trolled. People will be nasty and people will be nice. When I pass as a woman, I go out, men hold the door for me. Men will go out of their way to open a door for me, no matter where I'm at, gas station, going to the doctor's office, just anything. If there's a guy near, that door is going to get open for me. Men will be nice. I get compliments. Coworkers compliment how pretty I am. I'm one of the prettiest women that I work with in my place of employment. I work in a Macy's, so I work with mainly women, and no one on my staff knows that I'm a woman. I mean, I'm a trans woman. And even when I say that, I am an intersex person, so I am genetically more female than male, and I think that plays into it. But with watching the trans community over the past 16 years of going to groups and interacting with trans people, the one thing I will say is that passing matters no matter how much the trans community says it doesn't. If you don't pass, you're going to have a really hard time, sweetie. So I just really recommend trying to figure out what you need to do. Consult with plastic surgeon. It doesn't have to be done in a day, but whenever you're looking for health insurance, find health insurance that covers your transition. Like, it covers my hormones, it covered my rhinoplasty, it covered my cheek augmentation. All of that stuff was paid for by insurance. My hormones, insurance. It's all paid for because being trans, or even myself being intersex, is a medical condition. So insurance companies have to cover it. So that's basically going to wrap it up. Passing is important. If you don't pass, you'll live just a subpar quality life. It's not going to be robust and beautiful as if you passed. My experience is I say that I passed very well, and passing very well has been my dream come true. I've gotten used to passing because I've been in transition so long, but I remember what it was like to not pass, and it's not easy. So take care of yourself. If you learned something from this video, please go ahead and subscribe and like my video. It helps my algorithm. It helps me to keep giving me the motivation to keep making these videos. And I'm really enjoying this experience that I have been sharing my journey and my opinions on YouTube, and I hope to continue making videos. So I hope everyone's doing well, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.